As someone who travels across the US in my van while working remotely, Starlink has become an essential tool for staying connected, even in some of the most remote locations. Whether I'm camping between meetings or setting up office on BLM land, Starlink allows me to remain productive and flexible in a way that wasn't possible before. Part 1. Connectivity from anywhere. One of the most valuable aspects of Starlink is its ability to provide connectivity from almost anywhere. I've been working remotely for over a decade, and before Starlink, I used to rely on mobile hotspots to access the internet. My workday and travel route were often determined by where I could find a decent mobile signal. I tried every trick in the book, setting up camp on mountaintops for better line of sight to cell towers, using LTE signal boosters to enhance weak signals, even purchasing an Iridium satellite phone as a last resort. While some of these solutions helped, they were unreliable. LTE boosters worked on occasion, but a simple change in weather could leave me without any signal overnight. The satellite phone had its own set of issues, especially when in canyons or areas with limited sky visibility. Even when the satellite phone worked, the communication lag made calls difficult. With Starlink, as long as I have a clear view of the sky unobstructed by trees or mountains, I can connect almost anywhere. It has completely removed the stress of planning my workday around cell service. Here are just a few examples of how it's transformed my workflow. Canyonlands National Park. While supporting friends on a mountain bike ride, I set up camp along the White Rim Trail, overlooking a stunning 2,000-foot drop. Despite the remote location, I was able to conduct video calls for hours before a snowstorm arrived. Even during the storm, I retreated to my van and continued working seamlessly. Rio Chama Wilderness. On another trip to New Mexico, I parked my van along the river with a clear view of the southern sky. Starlink automatically aligned itself, and I spent the day outside conducting video calls with clients. Once my workday ended, I set off on a trail run and enjoyed the wilderness, knowing I could easily integrate work and adventure. One of my most memorable experiences was a trip through Scotland's Northern Highlands on the NC 500. As I traveled along in the van, I set up my Starlink dish at remote locations, from mountaintops to ocean cliffs. The ease of setup made it possible to work from these breathtaking spots with minimal downtime. Part 2. Power efficiency. Another important aspect of using Starlink for remote work is power consumption, especially when working off a van's lithium-ion battery system powered by solar panels. I use a second-generation Starlink dish, which automatically repositions itself to optimize satellite connections. Once it's locked onto a satellite, my power consumption can drop as low as 45 watts. This is perfect for someone like me who relies on solar energy. With over 500 watts of solar capacity on my van, I can easily run Starlink all day without worrying about depleting my battery bank. My final thoughts for anyone looking to work remotely while traveling, especially in areas where traditional mobile service fails, Starlink is a game changer. It has revolutionized how I approach my work, giving me the freedom to explore and remain productive from the most remote corners of the wilderness. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop me a like or comment below.